Quiñones with MLoveizm TV. I'm here with Macho Ortega. We're gonna sit and kind of dive right into what you've been up to and talk about his upcoming album and just let them know who you are and where you came from.
Well, started in Boston, Mass. The first thing I started with, as a 5, 6, 7-year-old was just listening to other people's raps, Run DMC, Big Daddy Kane, whoever, memorizing their stuff and rapping it along until it just naturally became easy for me to make up my own stuff. Probably as early as 10, 11, 12 years old, I was writing songs and writing raps and putting it together.
When did you start taking it serious? From you emulating who you were listening to this is actually something that I really want to do?
As a kid it was just emulating, listening, block parties in the neighborhood. There were dope rappers, when I came up. But it really got serious when I got saved. Musically, my church was just super cool, and they encouraged music, and they had performances and plays 2-3 times a year. And when I was about 14 and a half, after I kind of started, getting to know the people and attending the church regularly, 14 and a half, my youth pastor, Pastor Wayne, the bomb, he just basically said, hey, you have talent, we have something going on Friday night, why don't you write something and do it? And me and my sister formed a group called New Breed. We were 15, 16, 17 years old, ministering and performing in churches and community centers, and it started building up from there.
From this journey, you get to the point where you're kind of already touring and all that kind of stuff. Now let's get into like the real life situation, like your family, wife, and all that kind of stuff. How did you start managing these two very different things that take up a lot of time? How did you manage that, and what happened within that kind of transition to bring you to where you're at right now?
My sister and I, New Breed, we moved here from Boston to California, to Whittier, about 11 years ago. We moved here because we were becoming part of a group called the Tunnel Rats. For the first 5, 6 years, we were just recording. And my marriage and my personal life was kind of created and developed in that kind of environment. And then my wife was a writer and also a poet, and she was building her business at the time. And we just kind of built our relationship, kind of working around the whole music thing, But if, in hindsight, I would have focused less on recording more music, having so much product, and focused more on taking the product that we did have and building equity from that product and traveling more with it, and letting a smaller amount of product take us further in terms of distance and travel and ministry, and taking less music and actually sharing it with them in person.
From what you're saying, there's Jesus is involved in your creative process and your family life and all that kind of stuff. So it was a time for you to do something different. What sparked that, like, I need to get back in the studio kind of thing?
When we were really heavy doing New Breed and the Tunnel Rat stuff for the first 5 or 6 years that we were in California, it was clear what my purpose was and what my ministry was, and where I was supposed to be and what I was supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So it was natural to think, okay, I did that was great. Maybe that time and that purpose was fulfilled. We had kind of started a small church in our house basically, and then it kind of progressed into a small kind of storefront church. And what I was doing just to stay creative was, not just to stay creative, but it was fulfilling that void of creativity, I would say. I was leading worship because I sing, and that was what I was saying to myself, just to be honest, was, hey, if I'm not doing hip hop, I'm not MCing, I'm not ministering, I'm not traveling, I'm not doing any of those things, at least I'm of service to the Lord by leading his people in worship and worshiping him, in an accountability role at a local church. Now I'm focusing on a project that I think will encourage people and challenge people, and through the Holy Spirit, hopefully convict people and just also uplift people and teach people. That's what I'm hoping to achieve with this project.